sections, Section 9(1) of the CGST Act and Section 5(1) of the IGST Act. Now, just keep one thing in your mind for always. Either the tax levied will be levied only by the central government. We have seen the Article 269A. In the case of interstate commerce or transaction, tax has to be levied and collected by the central government only. There is no dual transaction, dual taxation in the case of interstate trade or commerce. Whenever we'll be talking about the interstate trade or commerce, the tax will be levied by the central government only. Whenever the transaction is not interstate transaction, then the tax will be levied by the central and state government both. So when we are talking about the levy section, we will read two sections simultaneously of the IGST Act Section 5 subsection 1 and Section 9 subsection 1 of the CGST Act. Just park in your mind, Section 9 of the CGST Act is a basic section providing for the levy of the GST of the CGST, and Section 5 of the IGST Act provide for the levy of IGST. These two sections, keep in mind, Section 9 of the CGST Act, similarly for the SGST Act, but we are not covering the SGST Act because the provisions are same, and even it is not covered in the course itself, and the Section 5 of the IGST Act for the purpose of levy. Now, just I am reading out Section 9 subsection 1 of the CGST Act. I have taken the definition as it is what is given in the law. Subject to provisions of subsection 2. That means subsection 2 के provisions को refer करते हुए what we have to understand, there shall be a levy tax called the Central Goods and Service Tax on all intrastate supply of goods and services both. Just stop here. Where it is applicable, if we have go to Section 9 subsection 1, it has to be intrastate supply. It has to be goods or services or both. That means two factors should be very clear into mind. Number one, if CGST has to be levied, the transaction has to be intrastate supply. That we have to be very fundamentally clear. Whenever we are talking about CGST means simultaneously SGST is also levied. Whenever we are talking of CGST and SGST, the transaction should be intra-state supply. Second, it is applied on goods and services. So basically, if you see, the four terms are coming from here. Number one, you just note down intrastate supply. If something is supply, then it can become the intrastate supply or intrastate supply. The second terms becomes important is supply. What is the supply? The third term is goods, because if something is goods or services, then the CGST can be levied. And the fourth term is services. That means if something is supply which is intrastate supply, and that intrastate supply is pertaining to goods or services, then the CGST can be levied. Unless until these four conditions are fulfilled, CGST cannot be levied. I am just repeating, there should be goods or services. We will be discussing it further. Number one, it should be goods or services. Number two, the transactions undertaken are supply. Number three, transactions undertaken are intrastate supply. That means CGST is applicable. The charging provision is applicable. Charging point of CGST is intrastate supply. That park in your mind. Unless until supply is intrastate supply, CGST cannot be levied. That's the first point we have to keep in mind. It will not be applicable for alcoholic liquor for human consumption, because on that state excise is applicable, not covered into GST itself. That means alcoholic liquor for human consumption, GST will not be applicable. Even it is not given to the GST Council when it will be applicable. In the constitutional provision, in the Act itself, they have given alcohol for human consumption will not be covered into Section 9 subsection 1. Third point, on the value determined under Section 15 of the Central Goods and Services Tax Act, at the rate not exceeding 20% collected in the manner as may be prescribed and shall be paid by such taxable person. So try to understand what are the key points are coming from the definition of Section 9 subsection 1. The first key point is, it is a goods, it is a services, it is a tax. It is not it is a supply, it is an intrastate supply, it is not alcoholic liquor, and it will be paid by a taxable person. That we will understand, try to understand what is the taxable person. I think it is very clear. The levy section is empowering the central government and state government, because SGST Act empowers the state government to levy CGST on all intrastate supply of goods and services, not alcoholic liquor for human consumption, on the basis of the value determined under section 15, rate exceeding not 20%. That means total rate cannot be 40% plus cess, because cess act it is applicable, and in the manner as we prescribed, and to be paid by the taxable person. That basic definition we have to keep in mind. From this definition is very clear. Before going to the levy, what we have to decide? The thing I am supplying, or if I'm doing certain transaction, first thing I have to decide whether that thing is a goods or services. Because why that is important? Because I have to apply the rate as given in the law, and for the goods rates are different, for the services rates are different. For goods, my time of supply provisions, that means when the tax has to be paid, is different. For services, the time of supply provisions are different. For goods, my tax invoice format may be different. But for services, my format are different. If something is good, may be exempted. If something is services, may not be exempted. So the first critical point is always to decide whatever I am supplying or whatever the transactions I am undertaking is a goods or services. If something is not goods, something is not services, we cannot levy the tax, because the levy of the tax in the goods or services. The first fundamental principle what we have to keep in mind, if something is goods or services, only then CGST can be levied. The second point is whether that is a supply or not, that we have to keep in mind. The third point we have to decide, if I have decided, yes, this transaction I am doing is a goods or it is a services, it is a supply, then I will come to the point whether it is an intrastate supply or not. If it is not intrastate supply, I will go in a different rule. If it is intrastate supply, I will come into the CGST. So that thing we have to keep in mind. That thing we have to park in our mind. Intrastate supply. I am just repeating again. Section 9(1). Intrastate supply, goods and services, value as per section 15, to be imposed on the taxable person. Not covered is alcoholic liquor for human consumption. बिकॉज 9(2) के अंदर जो हमने आर्टिकल 269A के अंदर भी पढ़ा था, 5 चीजें हमने वहां पढ़ी थी. आपका पेट्रोल, डीजल, हाई स्पीड डीजल, ATF जो टर्बाइन फ्लू, ये सारे all these things can be decided later on by the GST Council when they will be covered, because they are the goods, but they will not be liable to tax, because the section 9 subsection 1 is subject to section 9 subsection 2, and section 9 subsection 2 exclude 5 things which were given in article 269A. So excluding these 6 things, the 5 things as per subsection 2 and alcoholic liquor, except these 2 things, every goods and services which is supply, which is intrastate supply, will be covered into section 9 subsection 1. Now I am just reading section 5 subsection 1 of the IGST, because again I am repeating one thing. Either the tax can be levied under the IGST Act, then that will be IGST, or the tax can be levied by under the CGST Act. In that case, it will be CGST plus SGST, because we have read, we have understood the constitutional provision. Again, I am repeating, constitutional provision 269A article provides the power to central government to levy and collect the tax in the case of intrastate transaction or commerce. In that means that will IGST Act will be applicable. If the transaction is not intrastate transaction, then the article 246A gives the simultaneous power to state and government. In that case, on the transactions, CGST and SGST Act will be applicable. The levy will be done by both the sections. Now I'm just reading the section 5 subsection 1 of the IGST Act. Similar provisions, similar as to section 9 subsection 1 of the CGST Act. The only difference is on all intrastate supplies of goods and services. That means in section 9 subsection 1, the transaction was intrastate supply. Section 5 subsection 1 talks about intrastate supply, except on alcoholic liquor, value determined as per section 15, not exceeding 40%. Keep in mind, in IGST, because there is no dual levy, only IGST section IGST is levied. So here it is 40%. When we see into CGST Act is 20%, because CGST is 20% and SGST is 20%. Total becomes 40%. Exceptional provisions are only for the purpose of import of goods, because we have seen in the case of our article, because the constitutional provision, import of goods and services are always intrastate supply. Here the provisions are: on the goods imported into India, tax shall be levied or collected in accordance with the provisions of Section 3 of the Custom Tariff Act on the values that are determined in the basis of the customs as per Section 12 of the Custom Act. So just try to understand there are three basic differences between the Section 9 and Section 5 of the IGST Act and CGST Act. Section 9 is applicable for intrastate supply. Section 5 of the IGST Act is applicable for interstate supply. That is the first difference. Number 2, maximum rate of the CGST is 20%, because CGST 20%, SGST 20%, total becomes 40%. In the IGST, the total rate limit is 40%. Third difference is, in CGST, the tax is always levied as per the provisions of the GST law, but IGST Act is mandating when the goods are imported, then the tax will be collected as per the provisions of the custom law, as per the Section 3 of the Custom Tariff Act and as per Section 12 of the Custom Act. That's the basic difference between the CGST and IGST Act levy. So again, I'm repeating what we have to bifurcate: whether the transaction is interstate supply or intrastate supply. That the first fundamental principle we have to decide. Only on that basis we can move further. The second factor we have to decide whether certain things is goods or services, then we can move further.